What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C4, and today things aren't great in the Philadelphia Eagles world. Let's be honest. Lane Johnson facing a 10-game suspension, so debatably one of the most important players on our offense is gone on an offense that's already not great. You got Doug Peterson. Yeah, you got there's just a lot of things. This is not overall going to be the most enthusiastic season for us Philadelphia Eagle fans. And, I already did a video where I talked about some of the things that are, pun intended, the silver lining of this coming season. Things that can go right. I mean, certainly, even in this video is about the bad. We could certainly win this fucking division, man. The Giants aren't that good. The Redskins aren't that good. The Cowboys aren't that good. And I'm not saying they suck, because I'll be the first one to say the Eagles kind of suck this coming year. On paper, they still haven't, opened up week one yet. But on paper, man, no team in the NFC East right now is a head and shoulders favorite. It's still a completely wide open division. It's all about who gets hot at the right time, who peaks, who stays healthy. But we are still going to be talking about the bad, because this is one of the worst offenses on paper. And I think since I've been an Eagles fan. So we'll jump into that. I don't really know what the title of this video, what the synopsis overall will be. Maybe just, let's say, the reasons why Philadelphia won't win the NFC East. So number one is this offense is as bad on paper as it's been in the last decade. For me, it feels like Sam Bradford is just going to be going through the motions. You already saw how he handled the Carson Wentz thing. It already comes off like he just wants to be here for one more year, play it out because he has to be contractually, and try to land somewhere else next year. It seems like obviously he's going to try because he definitely wants to try to improve his stock so he can land somewhere and be a starter. But, it's one of those things, if the game's on the line, will he make a play that could hurt him? Would he make a play that, think of the Cam Newton fumble in the Super Bowl. If that happens in Philadelphia to make the playoffs, something like that, will Sam Bradford dive on that football knowing that he's not going to be, or he's not the team's future? He needs to stay healthy so he can go somewhere next year, or, opposed to a guy that's our long-term solution at quarterback, will do anything to win. There's questions about that, and because there's questions about that, how can you be enthusiastic about that at quarterback? The offensive line is pretty average at best, and now with this impending Lane Johnson suspension and Jason Peters being injury prone, it's not looking great. We thought last year offensive line was not great. This year it could be debatably worse. We do have Brandon Brooks, the addition of him, but we also had Lane Johnson for the 3/4 of the season last year. So I mean, overall, I still think it doesn't really break even, and our offensive line is as bad as it was looking last year. Running backs is a question. Can Ryan Matthews stay healthy? Darren Sproles, 32 years old. Everything's still showing that he has elite quickness, but he's still getting up there in age. So there's a question mark at running back. We don't have, a LaShawn McCoy back there no more. Guy that, franchise running back. Wide receivers are proven to struggle with drops. There's still drops. Jordan Matthews, luckily through training camp, has reportedly not really dropped much. You got Ruben Randall, who, is all signs from training camp as well, has not dropped much. But everyone else, there's still drops, and drops have killed this team, especially this offense, man, down the stretch. Just ruining rhythms, three and outs. Oh, my God, just drops. Zach Ertz still doesn't get over the hump this year. What if he doesn't? What if he will never get over that hump, and he's just a decent tight end, not a great tight end? There's definitely that worry. Potentially redshirting your quarterback you traded multiple first-round picks for is not a symbol of a powerhouse offense. We traded so much to get Carson Wentz, and with the talk about him being redshirted, it makes sense. It's warranted, I think. You could somewhat justify it because he's not ready to start. I mean, going from North Dakota State to playing, the Giants twice a year, that is such a big step that not a lot of players can make. But also, you invested in him. You gave so much up for Carson Wentz, and you're already coming off the gate and saying that he's probably not going to dress on the game days. How is that a vote of confidence to the fans that trust the process? That's what they're trying to convey to us, is trust the process. Trust that we're doing what's right for Carson Wentz. But at the same time, we gave up so much for a player we're not going to see. He's not even due to injury. It's not like we got a first-round pick like Dante Fowler for the Jags last year. Towards ACL is going to miss the year. No, we're willingly holding out a guy that we are assuming to be the franchise player that we gave up a lot. He's just not playing. I mean, what the fuck is that? Number two, Doug Peterson, in my mind, was a questionable hire to begin with, and I could easily see him being overwhelmed. He already kind of botched a press conference when they asked him how he's going to call plays in the offense. Seemed like he didn't understand the rules. I can't remember the exact quote or the exact conversation that was there, but it was basically like he he found out that there could be 3 channels on a headset. He thought there was only 2. So I don't want to butcher what that was, but essentially it came off like he didn't understand the rules of being a head coach already. I mean, in the Philadelphia media, they're going to fucking rip you apart. Frank Reich, the offensive coordinator, again, another questionable hire, was there in San Diego. They were kind of stagnant. They did have injuries, but, I mean, he is not the most exciting offensive hire either. I mean, we got Jim Schwartz, which is great. I think they got DeFilippo, who did great wonders with the Cleveland Browns last season. I think he was their OC last season, and he came in kind of highly regarded. But Frank Reich and, more importantly, Doug Peterson, I think it's still kind of questionable, man. They're going to have to win a lot of games and prove some people wrong. If not, it's what we all thought it was. Number 3 is, on paper, the 2016 cornerbacks are as bad or worse than Kerry Williams and Bradley Fletcher. I mean, that was some of the worst cornerback play I've seen in the NFL. And in a division where you have Dez Bryant, Odell Beckham Jr., Deshaun Jackson, now you got to add Josh Doctson to the mix. You still got Jordan Reed at tight end, who's pretty much a wide receiver. Our corners, they have to stop these guys. They have to stop. We're not in a division where, it's defense. We're not in like I don't know what division sucks. What division doesn't have great wide receivers? The NFC West. NFC West doesn't have a lot of great wide receivers. You got maybe the NFC North. Maybe you get Alshon Jeffrey, but I mean, now that Calvin Johnson's gone, but I mean, regardless, in our division, it's all, you got to stop the Dezes, you got to stop the Odell Beckhams, and you're telling me right now that you're confident that Nolan Carroll, coming off a bad injury, you got Leos McKelvin, who's been he's been average everywhere he's gone, is going to be able to stop these players. So I mean, there's not a lot of confidence there, and unless our safety play can compensate for this. On paper, they could blow my mind away and truly shock me. But on paper, unless our safety play can really help them out, I think we're going to struggle, man. I think, as good as everywhere else in this defense is, if you can't stop the deep ball, if you can't cover guys that you're expected to cover, superstar wide receivers within the division, doesn't matter how good, how much pressure you get, how good your front seven is, it's still going to let you down. Number 4 is, our linebacking core is 1 injury away from looking average. Right now, it looks pretty good. We're all assuming Michael Kendricks can bounce back. You got Jordan Hicks. You got Nigel Bradham, who's, looked pretty good in flashes for the Buffalo Bills. But, I mean, you got Michael Kendricks and Jordan Hicks are both, I think you could categorize them as injury-prone. You got Nigel Bradham with that off-field shit. Is there a suspension looming? If one of those guys go down, we have absolutely no linebacking depth. So, as it stands right now, our front seven healthy is maybe the best I've seen as an Eagle fan. One of those guys go down, it is not looking fucking pretty. So I mean, that you're playing with fire by not having linebacker depth there. We're reported to try to get Stephen Tulloch coming over from the Detroit Lions. I think that would add great depth. They'd be able to move Najee Good outside. And I think Najee Good's actually pretty solid, and Tulloch in the middle being backup for Hicks. I actually like that move a little bit. But it's one of those things. Why don't you just keep DeMeco Ryans if you're playing with a veteran linebacker? I think DeMeco Ryans might offer more than Tulloch, and they'd probably be on a pretty similar contract. But we'll have to wait and see what happens there. And number 5 is the NFC East. They could just simply outscore us. No matter how good our defense is, our offense might not be able to keep up with the likes of Kirk Cousins, Deshaun Jackson, and Jordan Reed in Washington. You got Tony Romo, Dez Bryant, and that offensive line, that fabled offensive line in Dallas. And then you got Eli Manning and Odell Beckham Jr. in New York, and maybe the emerging Sterling Shepard at wide receiver. So, I mean, all of those guys are better than what we can offer. Maybe Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz could probably try to, keep pace with Jordan Reed this year at tight end, statistically speaking. But for the most part, man, other teams, they have offensive playmakers that we don't have right now. So unless, Jordan Matthews somehow emerges as a 1,200-yard receiver, man, it might turn into the other teams can simply outscore us. We don't have the guys that can put up the points. So, I mean, there is a lot to be not looking forward to this year as a Philadelphia Eagles fan. But, I mean, there are some things we can do. There are some silver linings, pun intended again. So, it's going to be an interesting year. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. What are you most worried about as an Eagle fan this coming season? But we'll try to make it more positive from now on. Try to keep it positive on the channel, at least until, my post-game videos where I'm probably going to be losing my shit at the Frank Reich play calls or Doug Peterson or something like that. But if you guys want to see that and you're new to the channel, you're going to need to subscribe because there's going to be some great Philadelphia Eagles content. Even if you're not an Eagle fan, there's going to be so much Madden 17. It's Madden 17 season. I'm going to be producing content out the ass, so make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for that. And until next time, it's your boy C4 saying peace out.